Am I setting you up to fail? Well, I hope so. The great late Maya Angelou said this: "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. The one common denominator amongst the world's most successful people is that they've all failed. They all missed shots, failed businesses, made films nobody wanted to see, wrote blogs nobody wanted to read, and made music nobody wanted to listen to. Part of what makes them who they are is that they failed before they succeeded. So what if chasing failure was the quickest way to succeed? If we could somehow remove the fear of failure from life, what would you do? What would I do if I knew I could not fail? Well, I'd be in the NBA. And the only way to know if that dream could become a reality is to try. If you're a singer-songwriter, you've got The Voice, American Idol, X Factor. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you've got Shark Tank. If you think you can dance, well, there's a show for you too. But what about if you want to be in the NBA? My journey to getting an NBA tryout required more of a mental adjustment than a purely physical one. I knew that if an NBA team would give me a shot, I would have to exit out of the open gym, run and gun mindset I was used to playing week in and week out. Off the court, I didn't need to get on a diet, but I knew I had to start making better health decisions about what I was putting in my body. On the court, I realized the best players in the world have impeccable footwork and know how to leverage angles brilliantly using the pick and roll. So I put myself through drills that would mimic that activity best. One of the characteristics that separates the great ballers from your average ballers is how they respond to missed shots. I had to kill that part of me that got down whenever I missed a shot. The weight room isn't about getting physically stronger. It's about disciplining your mind to tell your body to get a second wind, and if need be, a third. That's why you lift. That's why you run as fast as you can for as long as you can. That's why you show up early. That's why you stay late. I had to get to a point where I envisioned my competition working harder than I was, because that's what it takes to play on this level. And I have no idea if I have what it takes to be in the NBA, and I don't care if I do. At some point, you've just got to wake up and stop being scared. At some point, you've got to wake up and start becoming the person you were meant to be. One of the greatest days in life is the day you stop caring about what people think about you. And that's the day the world gets to see what you're really made of. That's the day you realize the only thing anybody can say to you at the door of opportunity is no. So I reached out to the Phoenix Suns and told them I was chasing failure. I let them know that I was an All-American at a D3 college, but never pursued the pros. I'm 29, 6'3", 185 pounds, and looking for failure. They have no reason to give a random basketball fan a shot at making their roster. But at this point, I don't have anything to lose, and neither do they. What if I fail? Many have and moved on. But what if I don't? What if they find out I'm really good at the game of basketball? What if they find out I can be an incredible asset to their organization? What if? Well, the Phoenix Suns and Coach Jeff Hornacek thought about it for a couple of days, and they got back to me and said, "Come try out on Monday." My name is Ryan Leake, and I'm about to fail. Or maybe I won't. Going from the 24-hour fitness gym on Sunday to an NBA practice court on Monday is a bit of a jump. I had mixed emotions about the whole thing, and as I'm meeting Coach Jeff, I'm thinking on one hand, oh my gosh, you're one of the greatest shooters of all time. And on another hand, I need to act like this isn't a big deal because you also could be my coach for the next year. We talk for a little bit, and he sizes me up like all hoopers do. And then he says, suit up. And so it begins. It was amazing, man. We started doing dribbling drills, going through what any potential NBA guard would go through. All the coaches were super legit. I immediately felt the difference between open gym ballers and the pros. The overall speed, strength, and IQ of every hooper in the gym was astronomically higher than any place I've ever played. We then move into a standard shooting drill where Coach Jeff says, I'm going to do a drill where I take 20 shots, and if I make less than 14, I have a down and back for each one I miss under that. So during this drill, I was knocking down about 13 or 14 out of 20. And I'm walking with Coach Jeff, and he says, man, my guards are knocking down 17, 18 out of 20. Some of them 20 out of 20. And I began to realize that I was indeed getting what I came here for. Failure. As the tryout began to wind down, he's telling me what he thought of me that day, and then he says, 3-minute drill is just sprinting for 3 minutes. End to end, baseline to baseline. It's just sprinting. I don't know if you realize how long a 3-minute sprint is, but it's an eternity for the average athlete. But I mean, it's a lot. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna run for 3 minutes. He said, let me explain something to you.
Top guys, who was the kid? Archie could be close to 30. Our big guys get about 23. Guard. 3 minutes. So the question is, you can't pace yourself. Hey, Craig, you put 3 minutes up on the clock, just so you can get an idea, so you can look up there if you want. Okay. To get 30, you need 6 seconds each time. Right?
Well, at the time, the team is practicing, they're doing drills or whatever. Well, they see me get on the baseline, and screeching stops. Like, you don't hear anything on the court. Dribbling stop. I mean, and everybody's just like, okay, this is the final thing. Like, we're gonna watch this guy, see if he can be us, see if he can do what we do. And I'm thinking, okay, 6 seconds, 6 seconds. I'm like, okay, that's not that hard at the beginning, but okay, let's just see. Within the first minute and a half, I got 13. But this ain't bad, you know, but it's not great. But it's like, okay, and man, at that 90-second mark, I just hit a wall. I just ran out of gas. I think at that point, I'm not sure that I could feel my legs in that moment. I mean, I was huffing and puffing, and all of a sudden, the weight of failure began to really set in. And I'm looking around at these NBA players that are looking at me like, you serious? You really thought that you could come in here and beat us? And it was the most embarrassing moment of my life. And all of a sudden, Coach Jeff, I see him on the baseline, he starts going. Come on, Ryan, you got this. Come on, finish strong. We got a trash can here, you can throw up later. Let's go, come on. All you got, finish strong. All you got, finish strong. And the whole team, they start putting their hands together. Come on, Ryan, you got it. Come on, finish strong. Finish strong. And in the moment that was one of my most embarrassing moments turned into one of the greatest moments of my life. Because I realized that for 3 minutes, Coach Jeff Hornacek was my coach. For 3 minutes, the Phoenix Suns were my team. And as I'm huffing and puffing, and I can't feel my legs, and I can't feel my back, and I don't know if I'm walking or running or jogging, I'm just barely moving. I keep moving past this Phoenix Suns logo. And I asked myself this question: how did you get here? Like, there's a lot of places I could be on this Monday afternoon, but I'm here. And I realized chasing failure took me further than chasing success ever did. And for 3 minutes, I was a Phoenix Sun. And I failed. And failing never felt any better. Going back home, I had a million things on my mind. There's so much I would have done different. On one hand, I was discouraged. On another hand, I still couldn't believe that Coach Jeff would even give a guy like me a shot. A week later, I'm back in the gym in Dallas, and me and this guy start playing one-on-one. And as we're playing, I had hit about 8 shots in a row. I'm killing this guy. And this guy says to me, he says, "Man, who do you play for?" And I said nonchalantly, "Nobody." And then he asked, "Why not?" And then I responded with 3 words I had never been able to apply to this scenario. Because I tried. And that was one of the best feelings in the world. So what do you do with failure? Well, in my mind, you've got 2 options. Number 1, you look back and realize that you tried. And no one can take that away from you. You mustered up enough courage to do what isn't comfortable, to step outside the box your world has created for you, and you tried. And then there's always the second option. Try again. Who knows? Next year, you just might turn on your television and see me at the scores table of an NBA team. And I can do that because I'm not afraid to fail anymore. But the question isn't what I'm going to do next. The question is, what are you going to do next? What would you do if you knew you could not fail? Would you run for office, make movies, go back to school, run a marathon? You could start with a 5K. Maybe you've driven past that empty space 1,000 times and there's a sign in the window that says, "Talise, call this number." Can you imagine what would happen if you just called a number and found out what it might cost to open up shop for yourself? Dreaming is free. Living it out will have a price tag on it. And I think you owe it to yourself to find out how much it costs. Maybe a friend has urged you to write a book. Maybe you should. Or you could start a blog. It's cheaper. You're not too old, too young, too short, too black, too white, too poor, too ugly, too pretty, too dumb, or too weak to be who you dream of becoming. You don't need the world's permission to be amazing. Today's a good day because it could be the day that you wake up and stop being scared. Today's a phenomenal day because it could be the day that you wake up and run out of excuses for chasing your dream. Have I set you up to fail? Well, I certainly hope so.